Hi students, it's Mr. Nguyen here. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be working on writing a linear equation in slope-intercept form. So before we begin, let's just take a look at what slope-intercept form is supposed to look like, okay? So slope-intercept form is the equation that has the form y equals to the slope times x plus the y-intercept, so mx plus b, okay? So we want to write whatever the information they give us, and they could give us a variety of information. We just have to use that information and write our equation in this form, okay? All right, so I'm going to be using IXL problems to show you how to do these. So let's get started with this first easy example. Okay, so we know our equation needs to be in y equals mx plus b, right? So remember, the m and the b must be some kind of numbers, right? Some kind of values in order for our equations to work. So the m here is given to us conveniently. It is 9. So I am going ahead and substitute 9 in here. And then the y-intercept is also given to us. So this is why I'm telling you that this is the easiest case here. It's the least amount of work. You just have to verify which information is which and put it into your equation. So our equation becomes y equals 9x plus 10. Okay, submit. All right, this is another easy situation, right? The slope m is given to us right here. This is m. All right, and this is y-intercept, which is the b value, right? So we have y equal mx plus b. So I'm going to type in y equals, instead of m, I would put 6 and then x. Don't forget that x, because sometimes you guys forget to type the x in there, plus b, which is 7. And that is our slope-intercept form equation. All right. Again, another easy case. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it. The slope here is 7. However, the y-intercept is 0. So you could potentially write it like this: y equals 7x plus 0. But, you know, plus 0 doesn't really make any difference. So if I write plus 0, I'm just wasting my time and ink. Okay, so I could just write my equation as y equals 7x, right? Okay, so I'm going to type in y equals 7x. And even if you did put plus 0, I don't think it's going to count it wrong. It is correct. It's just not necessary. Okay, submit. Awesome. Okay. All right. Again, same thing. The slope is given to you and the y-intercept is given to you. This case is negative, so you just be careful with that negative. So y is equal to negative. So m is -4, right? So I'm going to put -4 in here, and then x, and then plus b. Well, b is -8. So when I simplify my equation, it's going to be -4x minus 8 rather than plus 8, okay? So watch out for that negative. It's still easy. You just have to put a minus in there instead, okay? 4x minus 8. Submit. All right. So far we've only seen one form, right? One form, one case. The case where the slope is given to you and the y-intercept is given to you. So I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna jump level to see if we run into the other um, two cases, which is the slope and a point and 2 points. Let's see. This is still slope and y-intercept. Let me jump. Here we go. Here is the case number 2. Case number 2 is when they give you the slope. However, they're not giving you the y-intercept. They're giving you a point x and y instead, right? So this is the medium case where it takes a little bit of work, some work, not too much, right? You're still going to start out with your equation, your formula rather, right? Y equal mx plus b, right? And what we want to do is we want to substitute as much information in there as we know, okay? So we know the slope is 1. We can put 1 in there, okay? We do not know b. So b is going to have to stay there because we don't know what it is. It's going to be there, because we don't know what number to put in there. However, we have to solve for it. So in order to solve for b, I do have to substitute the given point into my formula in order to find b, right? So I'm going to go ahead and substitute 15 in for y. And you guys be careful here because it's crisscrossing, right? So the x is actually going here and the y is actually going there. Equals to 1 times 8. So I'm going to put 8 in here, right? So my equation becomes 15 equals 8 plus b. Okay, this is a one-step equation. I know you can solve this one, right? You move the 8 over here by subtracting it, right? So 15 minus 8 give you 7. So b turned out to be 7. So our y-intercept here is 7. So now that we have the slope m and the y-intercept b, we can just plug it in, right? Or we substitute those values into our equation and we get y equals 1x plus 7. Now, here's the thing about the 1x. You don't really have to write that 1 because if the x is alone, we know it's one of them, right? If it's 2, then we'll see a 2 there. So you really don't have to write a 1, but if you did, it wouldn't be wrong, right? We just don't write them because, of course, we don't do things that aren't necessary. So submit. Awesome. Okay, so let's just review that real quick. When they give you a point and a slope, you substitute in as much information as possible, and then you solve for b, which is the y-intercept, because it's not given to you, okay? This is a repeat, so I'm going to jump level. Oh, we're in challenge zone. I still haven't seen the case. Oh, here you go. Case number 3. Case number 3 is the most work because you don't have anything. They didn't give you slope. They don't give you y-intercept. So, but we need both of them, right? So we have to work with this right here. We have to begin right here. We have to begin here. And the first thing we do is we try to find what m is. Well, lucky for us, we do have a formula, right? We have a formula to give us m. And the formula for m is change in y value. Okay, so delta y divided by change in x, delta x. So change in y over change in x. Well, how do I find the change in y? Well, the change in y is, let me use a different color. The change in y goes from y to y, right? So here's the y value, go to y value. Well, to find that, I just take y2, because it's the second y value, subtract y1. Okay, and you got to be careful here. Use a calculator if you have to. I think, well, I don't have a calculator on my computer anymore because it's disappeared. I need to reinstall it. But I am going to show you y2 is negative 12 minus y1, which is negative 36. So this is where you have to be careful, or use a calculator when you deal with these kind of sign, negative and negative, right? When you have too many negatives, just keep the signs where they belong. So negative 12 plus 36, this is plus 36, okay, would give you, I think, 24. Okay, so that's the change in the y value. Okay, I'm going to use a different color to show you the change in the x value. This is our review, by the way, because you guys have done this before. The change in x is here from 7 to 31. Well, all I have to do is take x2, because that's the second x value, minus x1 to get the change in x, right? So change in x is 31 minus 7. Oh, I think that turned out to be 24 as well. Oh, so the slope is 1. That's very nice. 24 divided by 24 is 1. So I know the slope is 1. All right. Well, now that I have a slope and 2 points, I can do what I just did with the problems before this one. Is I use the slope and one of the points to plug it in and solve for b, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am going to substitute one of these points. I think I'm going to pick this one. Okay, you can pick either one, but I think I'm going to pick this one just because it came first. I usually try to pick the smaller number one, so, but in this case it doesn't matter. So remember, it's crisscrossing, so you put this y in here, so negative 36. Okay, still using our same formula, right? Equals, instead of m, I know it's a 1, right? And then times x, which is 7, and then plus b, all right? Remember, our goal is to solve for b, right? So now we have simplified this equation. It'll be negative 36 equals to 7 plus b. And again, this is a one-step equation. You know how to do this one. Remove the 7 by subtracting it. Now, some of you guys will mess this up. Negative 36 and negative 7. You guys, it's going to be more negative, right? So it's actually going to be negative 43. Okay, so my b value is negative 43. Okay, so I have both pieces of information. I have a b here and I have an m here, right? This is my slope, remember? Okay, so there's a lot of scratch work that I have to do on the side in order to find these pieces of information based on the 2 points that they give me. So that's why this is case number 3. It is the case that takes the most work, right? It's not difficult work. It's just that you have to find all of them, right? So let's write our equation. Y equals m is 1. Again, I don't have to write 1, so I'm just going to put x plus negative 43. Okay, plus negative looks silly, right? I mean, that's silly, so I'm going to change it to a minus, okay? Minus. So in math, we want to simplify things. We don't want to do things that aren't necessary, okay? Put a plus, a negative is not necessary. We can just put a minus. Put a 1x is not necessary. We can just put an x, right? So this is our equation, y equal x minus 43. And let's see if I did it correctly. Yay. All right. Awesome. So that's case number 3, where you have 2 points. This is case number 2, where you have 1 point and a slope. Case number 2 is medium, right? It's not too bad. Just a little bit of work. So because the slope is already given to us. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my original formula, right? Mx plus b, right? And then I'm going to put, of course, the 1 in here, the x, or actually the y in here, and then the x in here. So notice how I draw my little arrow, right? And I do this every time, even when I know what I'm doing. I still do this, right? So I'm going to do 37, okay, equals 1 times 13 plus b, okay? And 37 equals 13, okay, plus b. Sorry about the handwriting, guys. I'm a little sloppy today. Now, we know how to do this. We subtract the 13 from this side, right? Or actually from both sides, but we're technically moving it over there. And so we get b equals 37 minus 13 is 24. So our b is 24. So now we're ready to write the equation. Y equals 1x. So just write the x plus 24. Submit. I would like to do one more problem with case 3 for you guys to see, right? The case where you have to do everything, right? So this is the case right here. So if you are good, you can stop the video right now and just try it. But if you like to see one more example, stick around, okay? So we're going to do one more example. The first thing we do is find m. M is, remember, y2 minus y1. So it's 2 minus a negative 4, okay, over x2 minus x1. So negative 16 minus 32, right? Minus 32. So if you have a calculator, it will help you out. You can do this together right here. So this will give you 6 because it's 2 plus 4. And this actually gives you a pretty large negative number, negative 48. Oh, I can simplify this, right? 6 going to 48. 8 times. Yeah, so it's going to be 1 up here. My slope is negative, so I'm going to put negative in front. And then 1 over 8, because 6 going to 48 8 times. So my slope is 1/8, right? And then now that I have the slope, oh, this problem might be harder than we anticipated. Well, let's just use this point. It looks smaller, right? So I'm going to put y in, okay, for y equal mx plus b. Remember the form, right? This is our formula. We cannot write our equation without this formula. So we're going to write that down. So y is 2 equals m is negative. Oops, excuse my equal sign. It's messy here. There we go. M is actually negative 1 over 8. Okay. I simplified to make the number smaller. Times x, and x happened to be 16. So I'm going to put x in there. Negative 16 rather. Negative 16 plus b. Oh, actually, it's not bad. The numbers work out pretty well. So negative times negative will give you positive. So if I simplify this equation, I get 2 equal positive. Well, 16 divided 1 times 16 is 16. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 2 plus b. Oh God, the b is 0, guys. If I subtract the 2, I move the 2 over here, b will be 0. Okay, I did all of that work, and the answer turned out to be really, really nice. So b is 0. Well, okay, no, well, I'm ready. I got m and I got b's. So I can write the equation now, right? I can write the equation as y equals negative 1 over 8. You can use the little slash for division. 1 over 8, and then put an x there, and then you can put plus 0, but again, we don't do things that are necessary, right? Plus 0 is not necessary. So I could actually hit submit now. Come on, take it. Submit. The internet is slow. Submit. Well, I don't know what happened to my internet, you guys, but uh, Uh, I believe I did it right. I don't know. So anyway, that's I'm gonna stop here because my computer just froze. So I hope that helps. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.